All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Raw Intuition Health Show. I've got, there we go. I had my show going on the browser. Welcome back to another edition of the Raw Intuition Health Show. We've got another exciting episode for you today and an amazing guest. We're getting started here just a few minutes late, so we're gonna have we'll let everybody kind of feed in here to the chat, but I appreciate everybody being here and joining us this Sunday morning. As I was saying, we have an exciting episode. We're going to be talking about massage therapy and body work with an expert and practitioner in that field, and I'm very excited. I've just recently met him, and he's a great guy. Really just enjoyed our few conversations that we've had, and I learned about him through Chelsea, who we had on the show just a few weeks ago, and she was saying how she's had some incredible, just emotional and physical releases through working with Greg, through his massage therapy and body work. And I've checked out his Instagram, and he's got so many great testimonials. And so I'm really excited to have him share with us how we can use massage therapy and body work, not only to achieve our best physical health, but also how we can use that as a tool for emotional and mental release that we might be holding on to within the body. I think that's a big challenge that a lot of people have that prevents them from achieving the goals that they have, whether it's through their diet or just their physical health. So let's bring Greg on the show. Greg, thank you so much for being here.
Happy to be here. Happy to spread the gospel.
Absolutely. And so, Greg, you have been doing massage therapy and body work for how long has it been?
13 years.
Okay.
I started in 2012 as not really like my main goal, just kind of interested in this. I was in between jobs, and I like to say that spirit kind of found me and has been using me as a tool ever since.
Amazing. Um, yeah, it's incredible when we follow those those messages or just those signs through spirit, and how it can just lead us to areas that we never would have expected to be in our life. So that's amazing that that's the path that you chose to follow and listen to those signs. So excited. And from what I understand, you're trained in, is it 13 different massage and bodywork modalities? Is that?
Yeah, I need to update that one slide because now it's up to 14.
Oh wow.
Any training that came across, my little eyes, I tended to take. It started off more in the medical field with like myofascial release, deep tissue techniques, Thai massage. And then slowly over the course of the 13 years, it morphed into more of the energy work aspect
Mm,
and the metaphysical, you want to say. The last training I took was called multidimensional body work.
wow.
Now, Tracy calls it multidimensional because she does, sit people up. She drapes people over the table to let gravity kind of do stretches for them, but it also is multidimensional in the sense of aligning your body, mind, and spirit.
Mm,
Yeah, we'll get into it when we get into it because the explanations for how I got to all of this is pretty incredible too.
yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I would love to. And before we get into your story, I just want to remind everybody out there. First of all, where can people find you if they want to follow you and learn about your
On
work?
Yep, on Instagram, I am the underscore holistic human, and I don't have a website. I've had People that I don't want to book with me anymore, book with me through website and online booking.
Mm,
I've had some clients that I will always make time for, and other clients I really need hours and hours to reset afterwards.
okay.
So it is intentional to not have a website. It's intentional just to be through Instagram. After doing this for 13 years, I'm to the point to where I can curate my own schedule
Okay.
and work when I like to work. Plus, it's a great medium to communicate with. Anyone can get a hold of me. Anybody can reach out, and I mean, I've had Zoom calls with people before to really narrow in on what I can do for them.
Amazing. Okay, well, great. I've got your Instagram link down below, so anybody can go click that, and I encourage everybody to go follow you and check out all the content you're putting out there. Um, and just a reminder to everybody, please like this video, share it around, and so you don't have you're not on YouTube?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. This year at the American Massage Championship, there's a guy by the name of Chaz Armstrong, or the Massage Ninja,
Okay.
and he has a huge following on YouTube, and I've been watching his videos for years. And we did do like a short 3 or 4 minute thing that he posted on his, but I haven't just made that jump yet.
Okay.
To be quite honest with you, I do not like technology very much. I'm more plants, I'm more people, but anything to do with typing and computer stuff, I'm usually all thumbs with.
Mm, understandable. I'm pretty close to there as well, so I get it. All right. Well, yeah, I've got your Instagram link below. Definitely everybody go check them out. And then, yeah, share this video, like this video. If you want to support the show, you can buy some merch, link down below. You can also just, pick up anything on my shop as well. But yeah, so let's get into the show here. So, Greg, would you mind sharing just kind of how you got into this field and, what was it that kind of inspired you in this direction and just kind of how that has gotten you to where you are today?
Sure. It started when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
Um, and I didn't even realize this until the last couple of years, but I was 5 years old. My father and mother split, and it was very, very tense that first Christmas.
Mm,
And all of my aunts and uncles kind of had their shoulders up like this. So 5 year old me just kind of felt the energy, and started squeezing everyone's shoulders. And it's one of our favorite, like family stories of that's how I started in this field. Now, fast forward to being a young man. I graduated high school, went off to college. My family was not very supportive of, me doing this work, especially right out of high school or college. So it took a while until, I got the push from spirit to do so. But it happened in 2012. I went to what was it, Massage Green, and a girl I was dating at the time also worked there, and she said, "Hey, maybe you should, like try this." So the very first professional massage I gave was right out of the gate, and it was on the largest body I've seen in a while, and the guy was very, very appreciative. I knocked it out of the park with not knowing, anything of what to do, just basically letting intuition guide me. And that first man was like a plumber or a tradesman or something like that, but he was so appreciative, he gave me $50 just as a tip. And I was like, wow, that's really, really cool. I would normally have to work hours and hours and hours to get this, and I got this in an hour.
mm,
So maybe I should look into this. And just timing is divine. And the school that I went to, called Irene's Myomassology Institute, was starting a class that week. So just I couldn't have planned it any better if, I tried. It was truly my path for the rest of my life. And that was 13 years ago. It's been a whirlwind. I started off as very medical, things needing to make sense.
Hmm.
The ankle bone is connected to the this bone, and the this bone is connected to that. And okay, we're measuring degrees of, tilt on their hips and whatever. But over the course of the decade, it seemed that people were coming in for the same issues every week. I had to have insurance cases or they'd be able to afford it. And okay, we're working on your shoulder again, and we're working on your shoulder again, and we're working on your shoulder again. I felt like a failure. Like, what am I really doing in this field if no one's getting the permanent relief? So I started going back and taking more classes, more structural analysis things. How can I actually make people better or help people get better? So after learning structural analysis, I started noticing that, oh, some people have the same 3 or 4 muscles stuck in a contraction on them. And then once I started doing things to make those 3 or 4 muscles uncontract, that I started feeling that people were crying, and they were old traumas were coming up. They were thinking about their mom, they were thinking about their dad, all because I was pushing on their hips or I was pushing on a certain spot in their neck. And it was just wild to me that you could think about your dad or you think about your mom, and like, wow, what is with this? And when we were in school, they said something about absorbing problems from clients. And it would be like a foot pain or something like that. And while we're working on the people's feet, we go to stand up and, oh, now we have a foot pain. And I thought that that was absolutely silly. So, like, how is that even possible? Like a physical transfer of pain? I really I didn't subscribe to that. But once I started practicing, all of these things are absolutely true. Specifically, I gave the foot pain example. A woman had some foot pain, and we worked on her feet. We rubbed it. It was great. And then I went to stand up, and I physically couldn't use one of my feet. It felt like there was a sharp spike right in there.
Hmm.
So I say that over the course of 10 years, I tried to disprove all of this. But now that 10 years has of experience has proved all of this to me, now that I really try and lean into it, and hopefully help everyone with these issues, because some folks are not ready. They're not realizing that, oh, my low back is connected to my living situation, or my neck pain is having to do something with my partner. uh, Doing work is not always easy. So, you know, communicating that with the clients, I think is the more challenging part of my job. It's easy to release a muscle. It's so easy to get tension out and to make a headache go away, but to keep it there, to keep the people in that good state of bliss is a little bit tougher, and it requires some integration.
Wow. That so many questions came up in my mind as you're going through that.
Let's
Uh,
go
yeah,
one by one, baby.
yeah, that's incredible. Everything that you've experienced and just how that has evolved, your understanding of that, and so first of all, I want to kind of distinguish between what is the difference between body work and massage therapy. Are they completely different things, or are they pretty similar, or how does that work?
Well, it's just a quirk of the English language, I would say.
Okay.
Massage therapy is, just a standard, okay, we're going to rub your muscles. We're going to rub some lotion on you, and it's going to relax you, and you're going to feel however you're going to feel. You may get an emotional release, you might not get an emotional release. Uh, Us good massage therapists, We like to say body work just to distinguish it a little bit, saying that we are incorporating energy work. We are incorporating more advanced techniques. We're not just going to have you lay there and hopefully make you fall asleep. We truly care a little bit more. That's where body work tends to separate itself from massage therapy. So it's just a term. Um, and yeah, it's trying to convey that whoever's doing the practice is going to be a little bit more involved than just our we say fluff and buff in our industry, but it's just fluff you and then okay, you're good. So yeah, if you're like on vacation and it's just a quick whatever, that's typically a massage. But if you're going in to get some kind of problems helped, then that's more body work.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So how do you as a practitioner then kind of is there a way that you protect yourself from maybe like absorbing some of the issues that your clients have, or how do you kind of handle that?
100%. Because that was something that I really needed to learn, especially in these last 3 years when I started really diving deep, is how do I protect my own energy?
Hmm.
It sounds silly to say that just saying a few words and imagining white light coming into me is the easiest way, but it truly is just trying to set an intention, saying, okay, I don't want other people's problems, but still you'll like a client, on a human level, and you want to get in deep with them, and your heart chakra to heart chakra connected, and those things can still happen. The barrier can be a bit porous.
Mm.
In the that event, I will absolutely go outside, take a walk, hug a tree for 8 or 9 minutes. Like, needing to set a timer is one huge piece of advice I can give people who are just getting into grounding. uh, touch some Labradorite. But yeah, I think just taking a walk and grounding, just being out in nature, giving that away. Because yeah, I try and do a really, really good job on folks. I do put my whole heart chakra into it, and the absorption can happen, but it's happening less and less and less now that I'm, more and more experienced.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm on a little bit of the same path as you in terms of, not really seeing how it's possible that you could absorb like a physical ailment from somebody that you're just like either around or working on like that. So but the more I hear from people like you and other just people that I come in contact with and this discussion comes up, like even Sherry commented in the chat box that this is absolutely a thing that she's experienced as well. So yeah,
Yeah, and it surprises the heck out of you, man.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you just go to use your arm and you're you know?
Right. Yeah, it's amazing, and it shows there's so much there that we can't see, right? That is impacting us every single
Yeah.
day. Everything that we're doing, there's forces that we're not able to physically see, but they are still there and having an impact. Um,
Yeah. Uh, Again, the whenever people don't believe me, or they roll their eyes or whatever, I will just say the words Wi-Fi.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, we're still caught up in the how shall I put it? So with all the metaphysical stuff, with all the cosmic energy and this and that, like, it's important to not just look at a tree. It's important to look at the whole forest and not just a tree. That's a better way to say it.
Mm,
Because yeah, I've encountered people that try and do like aura pictures, and oh, look at my aura reading from this machine, and I read their auras and I'm like, I don't know about that machine. uh yeah, when we're trying to do muscle testing, when we're hooking things up to machines, it's it's not translating that well. We are infinitely more complex than a machine. We're
Hmm.
not machines as human beings. We are organisms. There's no gas that I can put in my car to get it better tires.
Right.
Whereas we can put better fuel in us and then, get better joint mobility. We can have better gut health. We can have better all of these things. We can, have a bad day and not and be completely run down and take a nap, take an 8 hour, slumber, just take a break, and then you come back and be fine. When my car is run down, if I break a tie rod or whatever it is, I can't just put it in the garage for 8 hours and the tie rod will be a little bit better. So we are infinitely more complex than anyone gives us credit for, any of the researchers. Like things with CRISPR, this is way off topic, but like things with CRISPR, like just cutting in one gene and replacing it with another, that sounds very fishy to me because like it's a formula. Changing one gene will change a lot down the line.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and just changing your diet will help, but you need to change your diet and your mindset. Getting some body work will help your shoulder, but it also needs to be a diet change and a mindset change. It's never just one thing with a human being. We are a sum total of all the parts.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really what I've been trying to the message I've been trying to get across as well, especially over the last few years. It's just, yeah, it's so much more. A lot what I deal with, like the people that I see, most of them want help with their diet, and but a lot of people think that if they just change their diet, that's gonna fix everything, and that's
Yeah.
totally not the case. So yeah, that's
A
why,
magic, yeah, a magic bullet sounds really good, doesn't it?
yeah,
Like just the one thing, I can just change one thing and it's perfect.
yep,
Yeah, it's a bill of goods. Someone is trying to sell you that.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, how um in terms of maybe like for in my case, I've seen so many people that I can give them the information to improve their diet, even improve lifestyle habits, but they continually, kind of like you said with fixing somebody's shoulder, and they keep coming back and coming back. I have that same issue with people trying to change their diet or even their lifestyle. So, with body work and massage therapy, I know you mentioned that you started to see people crying and thinking about parents and other maybe emotional experiences they had in their earlier life. How can massage therapy and body work, how can that help people kind of break through some of the barriers that they have, maybe some of the built up emotions and things that are keeping them maybe self sabotaging or just in a loop?
Right. Uh, it, the short answer is yes. It can in so many unbelievably good ways and unexpected ways. When we've, how can I concisely put this? Firing patterns and your gait patterns, all of these terms that medical folks use, are things that are stuck in your body. But I like to think of it as just a process, like a muscle memory. So you have that memory of, okay, we're going to do the neck, for example. We're going to get specific. So if you're having problems in interpersonal relationships with someone, it doesn't have to be your romantic partner, just any interpersonal relationships, work, neighbors, whatever. It tends to manifest in the neck. So if we release it, okay, we're talking about Sherry, your neighbor, whatever. Okay, yep, Sherry, my neighbor's right in here. Okay, good, we release it. And then they come back in again and they're like, yeah, I'm tightened right back up. That is an opportunity to engage your higher self. the spirit side of you. Your mind and your body are the two meat suit components that we have, but engaging your higher self, the thing that's inside of you, that's always been inside of you, that ancient spirit, that soul, to say, okay, I know that this is coming up. Can we get over this? Can we see Sherry coming down the line and say, okay, it's not going to be in my, she's not going to affect me. I'm going to breathe it out. And results vary on that. Sometimes people will, get it on the first go. Other times it'll be a constant repeat process. We don't really realize that we're burying things down in our neck. We don't realize that we're burying things down in our low back. It just is an accumulation over time. These are all chronic issues. Like people can come in and see me and they have an injury. Like, oh, I got hit with a baseball bat. Then obviously that's an injury. That's not anything to do metaphysically, but it's the chronic over time things. And chronically over time, when you're sitting at a desk or when you're, standing a lot for your job or any of these things, those problems can manifest and then they compound on each other. So because you are tight and you're sitting and you're not moving around, that's when things can kind of get stuck and manifest in there. And I don't really have the best words to describe how this happens over time because I'm still figuring it out myself.
Mm.
And all of us are. If anybody does ever tell you that, oh, I've got all the answers and I figured it all out, then you know that they're full of crap.
Yeah.
And that was the most wonderful part about going to the American Massage Championship for me, was meeting all of these folks like Chaz Armstrong, who's, I've been watching on YouTube for many years. Tracy Windmill is big in my industry and she's a wonderful human being. All of these humans that are at the top of my field. And if you get them in a conversation like this, they're going to be the first to admit that they have the biggest imposter syndrome, that they don't know what they're doing, because it truly is the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Mm.
When I was year two, year three, oh, I could fix anything. I had, hundreds of hours of, table time, and oh, I could fix it. I could fix it. I could fix it. Now at year 13, with tens of thousands of massages I've given, I'm the first to say, all right, well, we can try. We can try to fix these things, but ultimately, I push on people. I just push on you. I help you breathe, and I push on you. It's up to you to release all of this. So I'm a great fit for many, many, many folks, and other folks will not like it so much. They just wanted a basic massage. They don't want to know where their pains are coming from. They don't want to dive into it. They just need some time.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I imagine those are the people that obviously are gonna they're gonna keep requiring the same type of work over and over because they're not really addressing, or
of course.
they're not open to hearing about what's actually at the root cause.
Of course. I'm sure there's one or two people that you know who've gotten a knee surgery or low back surgery or shoulder surgery, and they're still having issues with
Oh
their
yeah.
knee, their low back, their this, their that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Sherry says she definitely needs a massage. And Stacy from the Urban Pharmacy says she wants to come and see you in Michigan when she's there next. And yeah, I mean, so let's see. I think there was some. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think this is it's such a powerful tool that I'm looking forward to getting more into. So next time I'm in Michigan, I would love to come and see you as well. Do you have um, any like experiences that stand out with clients? Of I know you said recently you just had some emotional releases come out. Do you have any like really memorable ones that you can share?
Probably a few dozen. Well, specifically, we'll go most recently to the earliest. Last night, I went to an ecstatic dance, which is An intentional space, kind of like a rave, but intentionally without any drugs. And this, ecstatic dance had asked me to come out and do some body work, and had a couple other massage therapists there. So over the course of the night, people are seeing that, I'm not just pushing on people, that I'm doing this stretch and that stretch and making it look really beautiful, like hanging people by a silk, all this stuff. So I'm not going to say her name, but she, asked, "Hey, can I get in that?" I'm like, "Ooh, okay, cool." She's like, "Yeah, I have a really stiff neck," and I go, "Well, it's also, something to do with your low back too." And she, "Yeah, I do have hip pain." So we got into that. And I have a very specific low back routine that I do to try and target the muscle that really holds on to all of the tension down there. It's called your psoas, or your iliopsoas. It's the first in the firing pattern, and it's what holds the tension in the memories. So we start working on it, and I see a tear just come down, and I stop what I'm doing. It's loud. There's a lot of music. I went over to her, and I'm like, "Are you okay? Are you, are you experiencing any kind of emotions or that?" And she absolutely was. So
Mm.
we had to sit there, address it, just calm, breathe through it. Wonderful. And when we started to try and do the other side, I could feel her shut down. Like I can feel a willingness when people want to do more work, and then I can feel nope, that's too much.
Mm.
And she didn't communicate with me, through words. It was up to me to experience that, to say, okay, maybe we shouldn't do this. So that would be a great example of the difference between body work versus massage. A massage therapist would be like, "All right, well, we still got 15 minutes, so I guess I'm just gonna do this, that, or something."
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'm like, "Okay, we hit that wall. We're gonna stop it right there." Another more recent example was I know my friend Nora wouldn't mind me using her name because Nora's wonderful. Nora and I met while I was doing or work at a tattoo convention.
Mm.
So there is a big old convention space. You hear buzzing of tattoo guns all around, and they're tattoo people. They're a little bit gruff.
Mm.
They're rough, but it's salt of the earth, folks. So Nora gets on my table, and we're going through the routine, and we're back here at the hips, and we we do the first move, which is lifting your leg and then pushing it down. We hear a nice big pop. We do the second move, lift it again, and boom. And she goes, "Ah, why am I thinking about my dad?" And like, I had other therapists with me who just all turned around, and we were useless for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Like, it was exactly how the textbooks, how the teachers, exactly how it was, supposed to happen. It's right there in your right hip.
Mm.
Uh, Another fun one. God, well, I'll try and think of a good one in a second. I'm getting flicked in the brain by my spirit guides to say this. For the layman's terms, for anyone who's not familiar with this whole concept, you have feminine energy and you have masculine energy, both male and female. It doesn't mean that, me as a male doesn't have any female energy, or it's not a trans thing. It's just the way that energy is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a duality in there. So masculine energy is on your right side. It's logical. It's okay, everything needs to be in order. We need to be on time. Things need to make sense. But it's also creation and destruction. That is yang energy in and of itself. Feminine energy is submission, it's nurturing. Now, this can mean submission or submitting to things that you don't want to submit. It can mean nurturing things that doesn't need nurturing. But essentially, your masculine side is on your right side, your feminine side is on your left-hand side. So that's where those problems will manifest. If we're talking about a right shoulder, like, constantly in my right shoulder, whether you're a male or a female, it might have something to do with work, because we just associate work with masculine energy.
Mm.
If it's on your left side, it might be more of a, the people that we hang out with, the home life, that sort of thing. Neck is always interpersonal relationships.
Mm,
It doesn't matter if it's romantic relationships, it can be your relationship with your mailman, but it is interpersonal relationships, something that's going on recently. Going down towards the chest, a little bit more stuck in, a little bit longer duration. Going all the way down to your hips and your tailbone, that's the longest term duration. That's the root chakra energy. That's the, okay, do I have enough money? Do I like my living situation? Am I going to get evicted? Ooh, all of that's on your left low side. On your right low side, it's usually something to do with shame, or at least I've found that. Which action did I do that was not so good? What am I carrying around? What am I projecting onto myself? Should I have been better in this, that, or the other thing?
mm.
So yeah, I gave the Nora example. Hmm. Well, let's give you a fun baby example.
Oh, yeah.
So, my ex-partner and I were together for 7 years, and we really wanted to be parents with each other. Ultimately, that didn't happen, but I still went to all of the trainings that I could for prenatal classes, for fertility classes. There's something called Mercier therapy, and I'm not sure if I'm still the only man certified in Mercier therapy in Michigan, but I was at the time and for a few years afterwards. So, fertility issues, all of those can be helped with good body work. But I think it was a year and a half or 2 years ago. This woman came in and we'd been seeing each other before she was pregnant, but as soon as she got pregnant, she stopped coming in. And I took offense because I do really good work with prenatal. I've got all these certifications. And really, what it was the baby was on her bladder. She just can't sit still for 35, 40 minutes
Mm,
without needing to go to the bathroom. So finally, in like her 32nd or 33rd week of pregnancy, she's like, okay, now it's getting to be too much. I need to go see Greg. And she's on the table and she's like, oh, I'm just so worried the baby might have to, I need to go pee. Or she wasn't associating it with the baby at the time. She was thinking that it was her. She's like, I might need to go pee. I'm really sorry. I'm like, okay, well, why don't we just ask the baby to get off your bladder? That's not a thing. That's exactly what she said. That's not a thing. Well, we could try it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And we relaxed this woman. We relaxed her fetus. The fetus stopped kicking, and then I went in, just held my hands right on her little belly, and we asked the baby like, "Hey, can you just wiggle a little bit off your mom's bladder?" And it took like a delay of about minute and a half, and then you felt the baby shift.
wow.
And the look on this woman's face was just like she had just discovered, El Dorado or something. Like, I physically don't have to feel this anymore. And that was just another moment for me out of thousands of moments that was like, wow, what we are doing is powerful. I essentially do co-regulation. All of us massage therapy people, we are co-regulators. We as human beings are hardwired for co-regulation. That's how we survived when, bears were chasing after us. That's how we survived when other armies were chasing after us. That's how we're surviving when the tax man is chasing after us, or, that's truly the way that we break through as human beings.
Mm,
Nobody does it all on their own. And if they claim that it's all on my own, I've done it all on my own, that's their ego.
sure.
Because you don't know your own blind spots. I can't take my hands and, rub my own shoulders. I do need somebody to co-regulate with me. I'm trying to rack my brain of another really fun one. Hmm, okay, this gentleman came in with chronic knee pain. I mean, chronic knee pain. He's about to get a surgery, right?
Okay.
And he already got surgery on the left one because it was just so bad. I think he was like a driver for a living, not like an overhaul trucker, but just like a short delivery driver.
Hmm.
And he already had the one knee replaced. Now we're going on the other one, and it's just useless. That's all it is. I think his daughter or his partner got it for him, and we get up to the hips. And within 30 seconds of me doing that same hip move that opened up the young woman last night, pop. And I mean noticeable thud,
Mm.
like seismic. And he's like, wow, that I would why does my knee feel better now? And I'm like, well, yeah, if something is stuck in a contraction up the firing pattern, up towards your spine, that's going to put pressure on everything down the chain. Because again, we're not machines, we're organisms. There, the ankle has pressure on it from the thigh. The thigh has pressure on it from the hip. The hip has pressure on it from the shoulder. The shoulder has pressure on it from the neck and cascading down the line.
Mm.
Nothing in your body is just isolated. Same thing with like your nutrition, your gut health. Your gut is not separated from your little baby toes. Your gut is not separated from the bags under your eyes. Your gut is your whole self. And same thing with any muscular problems. Your shoulders, you're kind of hugging this shoulder here and there, it's going to throw your gait off.
Mm.
Or if your foot is hurting, then that's going to throw your arm swing off. Things compound over time. Trying to think of another good poignant example, but I don't know. Probably once we move on to something else, I'll think of something. So
Sure. Yeah, no, those were great. Um, so for somebody that is, like, say somebody was going to come and work with you, is there anything that, or anybody, but is there anything that before a session that somebody should do to prepare? Is there, anything they can do during the session and then after the session? How can people get the most out of their session?
drink water.
Okay.
Water, water, water. I'm sorry that I'm drinking a vitamin water instead of just regular water, but yeah, there's no substitution. Don't put any electrolytes in there. Don't mess with it at all. Just water. Very little bit of salt if you need to have any kind of flavor in there. First things first is you need to be able to receive. And water is WD-40 for our tissues, man.
Hmm. Absolutely.
So that's the pre.
Okay.
And during during is different for everyone. Recently, I've had a young lady come into the fold. She saw me perform at another event, and that's when she's like, I would have never came to see you until I saw you work out 40 people in a row, and all of them have this kind of thing. But for the first and she's a beautiful woman, absolutely beautiful. So I'm a man and she's an absolutely beautiful woman, so you have that context of, oh, is he going to do anything untowards to me? So safety, permission, and trust are the things that I build throughout every session. First, they need to feel safe enough to book with me. Then I need to have permission to touch them. And then once I have those first two, then they can start to trust me, and then we can start to do some good work. So just drink water, make sure that you are hydrated, make sure that you are ready. During, make sure that you're breathing, because all I'm going to do is push on you. It's up to you to release it. And that's ultimately how I know all of these things to be true, is because, yeah, I just push on people. I push on people in certain specific areas, but it's up to them to release it. I'll have ridiculously good results with somebody, and then the person that they refer, I get no results with, because they're just not willing to go like that. They
Hmm.
think it's all an automatic thing. No, there is work involved that they need to do. And afterwards is the integration period. Is the, okay, are you you know you might have soreness that comes up. Okay, what are you doing to address the soreness? Because when muscles are stuck in a contraction, essentially, and then we release that contraction, there's lactic acid and cortisol that is stuck in those tissues. So once that lactic acid and cortisol get out of those specific stuck areas, it starts to go around your bloodstream, and then you get soreness, just like you went to the gym. So that's another post-care thing. Like, how are you taking care of yourself afterwards? uh, People that have migraines, especially like vestibular migraines or chemical ones or any of the other migraines. Migraines are one of my wonderful specialties.
Mm.
But I tell all the migraine people, okay, you feel great. You don't have a migraine right now. Wonderful. I have no control over your life as soon as you leave my presence. So are you going to allow the stressors? Are you going to, just go right back in the same situations and then tighten everything up and then have it snap back on you?
Hmm.
So yeah, it's results vary. There are no the only typical result is atypical result, because we're all layers, man. We're all onions. Sorry that I'm so neurodivergent and I'm bouncing back and forth, but
No, that's great.
that beautiful lady that came in to see me, the first session was all just, okay, is this guy going to cross any lines with me? No. Okay, that was weird. Okay. Now on the second session, now he did want to. I actually want him to cross a line on me. Just as her own ego thing, and it's like, no, that's not going to go on. Thank you for that, but no, that's not going on. But that's part of the permission and the trust thing, and I don't fault anyone for that, male or female. I've been hit on in a lot of very different ways, but that's part of the process. That's part of what you're guarding.
Sure.
Knowing that, okay, all these interactions that I'm ever going to have with a man is only because he's beautiful and he wants to sleep with me, is one of the things that, is holding people back in a lot of instances. It's what they're keeping up. It's what their guard is.
Hmm.
It's closing down their heart chakra. It's making them go into their mind, and it's cascading problems. So every human being is different. Some have that, burden, and others absolutely do not. But going back to the beautiful lady, after, the, okay, well, I kind of wanted you to, and I'm like, calm down. After that, there was another wave of anxiety that happened with her afterwards, because it's like, oh, why not? Am I not as beautiful as I think I am?
Hmm.
And that's another wave. That's just another onion. Just like we had the anxiety about, will anything bad happen? Now we have the anxiety of, just wait, nothing bad did happen. I was used to something bad happening. Okay, how are we going to get through that? And then finally, we're at session 3 and 4, and all of those emotions have come out. And now we can actually get to the work. And she has anxiety, she has all of these different things, but also TMJ. And it wasn't until like session 3, 4 that I can get into work on someone's TMJ, because this is really, really dark, deep suited, like, stuff and
Mm.
trauma. One woman, I worked on her TMJ, and it was only our session number 2. And she came to me specifically for TMJ, and it's session number 2, and she hasn't gotten the full, like, okay, I'm going to put my gloves in, fish hooker. And I'm like, I don't think you want me to do this yet. You are not ready for it. But she's wealthy and she's used to getting her way. And she's like, well, no, this is why I'm here. You did all the prep work the first time. You're saying that we need 2 sessions for prep work. I think you're just, trying to take my money and prolong this. I just want it fixed. I want it gone. So we're like, okay. I put my gloves on and I stuck a finger in one side of her mouth, and we started going at her TMJ, at her temporal mandibular joint. Did one side, did the other side. She was very resistive the whole time. It was very painful. And then later that day, she texted me. She's like, why am I yelling at my kids? And her kids are small. They're like toddlers.
Mm.
Like, why are you yelling at your kids? Like, I'm not there with you. But maybe you're storing all of these resentments, all of these angers. Maybe that's what's in there.
Right.
And I can't help you with that. That's that's a life problem. That is a issue about the reality that you've created. I have 90 minutes with people. I don't have 90 years with them.
Sure. Yeah, it's
But
fascinating.
that's yeah, it's a practice, man. Because again, I spent 10 years eye rolling about all this. I grew up pretty NRA Republican Catholic, and things needed to make sense. Like we needed to have facts and figures, and okay, what study was done by who? Let's look at the methodology. And now that I live and breathe this, it's like, yeah, how can we make a study about, knee pain and the metaphysical reality of what is? Because time and space is an illusion, man.
Yeah.
A lot of fun things happen when you become an energy worker. I will be thinking of a client, just like, oh yeah, I haven't seen person X in a while, and sure enough, within 2 days, they're going to text me saying, "Hey, I really thought of that." Uh, my good friends were pregnant, and they had their little baby Sequoia. Sequoia, you're a beautiful little baby, and I'm not going to drop any more of the names, but I could feel I could feel something was wrong with her on Monday.
Hmm.
So I was about to text her, but no, I was driving, so I didn't want to text and drive, and made it to my destination, and I forget about it. And then Tuesday, same time, I could feel I needed to text her, but no, I was with a group of people, and I just didn't reach out. So it was finally on Wednesday. I woke up on Wednesday morning, and I'm like, "Hey, I hope you're doing okay. If there's anything you need, let me know." And she texted back that she's actually been in labor since Monday.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? Yeah, we started, going into pains around Monday. I'm like, what time around Monday? 5 o'clock. It's right when I text. Oh my goodness. And then Tuesday, they actually went in because they were going to do a home birth and all of those things. Tuesday was when they actually decided to go to the hospital. They abandoned the home birth because it was getting a little serious.
Hmm.
And yep, now by Wednesday, baby had come out, it was pretty traumatic. It was a whole C-section, and she was just shaken by all of this. This wasn't her birth plan.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, it's the connection that we have human to human is cosmic. It's wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I would imagine everybody has an experience like that. I know I have several experiences like that where thinking of somebody, you know, I had somebody that, I just know through, through online. And I thought of them randomly. Like I hadn't talked to them in probably months, and I just thought of them for some reason. And then the very next day, or maybe it was a couple days later, I don't remember exactly, but that day that I thought of them, they had actually had a family member pass, and they were,
Mm,
having a really hard time with it. So yeah, it's like there's so many examples that I think if people are paying attention to, and I mean, you gave the Wi-Fi example, and there's these examples that we're having. Like it's just so obvious that there's so much more going on, and working on the metaphysical aspects and the emotional aspects of our lives. We can get through, for the people that have been struggling with any issue for an extended period of time, and they feel like they've been doing everything right. Maybe this is an area that they've been missing. And like you
mm,
said, we don't know our blind spots. And so this can be a way to help us kind of see an area that maybe we've been blind to.
right. And let's go back to the gut, for example. Many folks come to me with gut issues, and they're not digesting poorly, or they have indigestion, or they're constipated, or any of those things. And those things are happening because you're in fight or flight. Pure and simple. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you're in fight or flight. You're running all around, you're doing this, you're doing that. You're not into rest and digest.
Hmm.
So when folks are not getting, the best results through changing their diet or this, that, or the other, that's something that I look at with them. Like, okay, are you still in fight or flight? There's a physical line of fight or flight. I call it the fight or flight line. That's runs all the way from your pinky toe or your big toe, all the way up through the inside of your thigh, all the way up through your hip, all the way up through your gut, all the way up through your neck, and all the way to the top of your head and to your forehead. And you can just walk that line. It's the same line, one of the lines of polarity, the vagus nerve line. A lot of different practitioners, a lot of different modalities have arrived at this, same truth. And I think that is the most interesting part about the human body is that it all works.
Yeah.
You just need to find your flavor. I'm not very big on acupuncture. That's just me. That's just my personal hang up is I don't like being stuck with needles. But some people love it.
Yeah.
I really like getting massage, receiving massage, doing all of these things with massage and body work. And some people don't like that.
Hmm.
I'd say they just need to find the right one. But others do yoga. Others, do chakra clearings and sound healings. Others do hypnosis. It all works. There's nothing that is the magic bullet that you don't need any other training modality for. There is no magic bullet, but lining up all of your magic bullets is the fun part about it.
Sure. Yeah. I totally resonate with that. And that's why I personally am now getting more into, this, this, the things outside of just the basic diet and lifestyle, hacks or just habits. Getting into sound therapy, hypnosis, body work, those sorts of things, breath work, and all that stuff. Because
Yeah,
I know from personal experience that it's so beneficial, um, and it only enhances your chances of finding the true solution, the underlying issues that you've been trying to work through, or just anything that you're trying to do. Like you said, lining up all the different tools or bullets that you have, it's just so much more of a you're throwing a wider net to figure out what's
yeah.
really going on.
Well, you said an interesting word there. You said the word hack.
Mm, yeah.
Our society wants that hack,
Right.
wants that shortcut, wants the fast track. I mean, have you ever been lost and you need to find directions? And when I started driving, we didn't have GPS. Like you had to
Same.
print out like these directions or like have a map, and it took time to get places. Now, if GPS is down, no one's getting anywhere. No deliveries, no nothing. Just wow, we need that hack, and we're become dependent on that
Hmm.
hack. And to say that, okay, to release my hip pain, my knee pain, my any of this is all down to do with massage and body work. That's a hack. That's a shortcut. So it's not sexy. A good it's not a good sales pitch to say, yeah, you need to do more work after this, or this is on you. Like people are essentially paying me money, and then I turn around and say, no, it's you who have to do the work. Pay up. Like that's not a good sales pitch, but it's absolutely the proper sales pitch. Like if you need a new roof on your house, some guy comes up and is like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna throw a patch up there, I'm gonna throw a tarp on that and you're gonna be all good. Just pay me $20. Or are you gonna pay the tens of thousands of dollars to do it right and have it done right?
Hmm.
Like it's true with everything. With our health, with our homes, with our cars, with everything. And that's not sexy.
Yeah.
That's not cool. That's not easy. But damn, it's true.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
Every little bit, yeah, every little bit helps. Every little thing that you do is going to build and build and build on it. It's going to be another stone on this big pile of goodness that you're doing.
sure.
Uh, and when people ask, okay, how long do I need to come and see you? Like, when do I need to come back? This and that. I love analogies and metaphors and lateral learnings. It's just a neurodivergent thing. But I'll tell these folks, once you leave my place, you're going to start to dig a hole. are gonna stress you out. You're gonna not eat right. You're gonna, have some bad and pure thoughts. All of these things are just digging a hole. And once you find yourself in that hole to where you can't climb out with, a good meal or a good sound bath or this and that, that's when I can come there and throw you a ladder and try and get you back up. But society as a whole, you're constantly digging a hole. We're not living the grounded, wonderful hunter gatherer lifestyle. But even the people that are living the grounded hunter gatherer lifestyle, you're a hunter gatherer. So you need to actively hunt for every meal that you get. Like you're still going to be in fight or flight. Life is suffering. We're here on this plane of existence because our spirits were, bored of everything being so wonderful and cosmic. We're here for strife.
Mm-hmm.
We're here for it. I have extremely wealthy clients, extremely wealthy. We're talking billionaire. And I'll come to their homes, their lovely big palaces, and I get into their place and they're like, "Oh, I'm so stressed out." Okay, what are you stressed out about? Like you can literally write a check for anything that comes up.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll find something to be upset about. Uh, uh, I didn't have a car for a couple of weeks last summer and needed to pay on other things. Never mind. I didn't have a car, so I had to Uber to this palace. And I got there and they were so stressed out because their house in Monaco needed new windows.
Mm-hmm.
Your house in Monaco needs new windows. Okay. Like, is this going to be, do you need to sell an asset or something like that? No, we can just write a check for it. But I mean, come on, if it's not one thing, it's another. And I'm like, I wish I had that problem, yo.
Right.
I wish I had that problem.
Yeah.
But we as humans, we're going to find something to, be that. It's like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As soon as we have air fulfilled, okay, great. Now we need water. Okay, now we have water and food. Now we have a shelter. Okay, now we have a shelter. Now we need personal fulfillment. Now we need some art. Now we need some community.
Yeah. And I would imagine that that person, uh, the stress really wasn't the windows. I'm guessing there was an underlying issue that they
Yeah,
they were just using the windows. That's how it was
yeah,
manifesting. But yeah, absolutely, that's fascinating. It's true. I mean, you can have all the money in the world, and you're still gonna go through all the same levels of challenges that everybody else does. So I
yeah,
guess it's just a lesson that we all need to focus on some of these things and look inside of us and see where we are needing that extra care and extra work, and dive in.
for sure. For sure. Yeah, that's life, baby.
Yeah,
That's the great mystery of life.
absolutely. All right. Well, this has been fascinating. I really appreciate the stories and just the education and the inspiration that you've provided so far. We're about, I think we've been going for maybe a little over an hour here. Do you mind if we take a few questions from the audience?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. And before we do that, one more time, where can people best find you?
On Instagram, _holistic human. I
Perfect.
think there's a period in between holistic and human, though. Yeah, once you search me, I'll come up.
Okay.
Greg Kramer is licensed massage therapist, but I prefer to be called G. Just
Okay.
you take the regular out of Greg.
Gotcha.
That's how I like to tell people.
Love it. All right. Well, I got that link down below for everybody. Go check him out, subscribe, follow him. And if you're in the Michigan area, definitely send him a message, get some work done.
Oh, I travel as well.
Okay.
Don't think I don't travel.
Okay.
I'm
Great.
going to Colorado in November, and I'm stopping in Illinois and Chicago on the way there, and Milwaukee on the way back. So,
Amazing.
yeah, I do travel for clients. That's honestly the funnest part of my job. Them getting 4 or 5 of their friends together. I'll fly out, stay at the hotel, and then they just come to me, and we make a hotel spa.
Wow. I love that. Okay. Great. So yeah, there's really no excuse not to book a session then.
Yeah, life's so fun. Make
Yeah.
make life fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Love that. Okay, well, great. Let's hop into the Q&A room here. I know there's at least one or two questions in there already, so I'm just gonna start us off with a quick question that I was thinking of earlier. Is there, I know you said 14 different modalities that you're trained in. Do you find that you use all of them pretty equally? Or, I mean, I guess I'm sure it depends on the person, but is there one you like more than others?
Ooh, will definitively say that I do reflexology on every single human because that's just how I start every session. I
Okay.
start every session on the feet, taking a nice survey. But I hadn't realized that, combining all of these, into the unholy concoction that I have, it's actually creating its own new modality. This year at the American Massage Championship, the judges were like, "No, this is actually like its own thing." As my mentor and friend Tracy calls her style, multidimensional body work. I'm going with the term integrated massage
Hmm.
because I'm integrating my whole body in this process. I'm integrating your whole body, your whole energy, everything. Everything is seamlessly kind of gone into one. So to answer your question, reflexology I do on everyone. Deep tissue I don't do on everyone, but I do on a lot of folks. And yeah, maybe some Thai, maybe some Reiki, but
Okay.
because I'm literally exchanging energy with everyone, so it would be
Mhm.
dishonest for me to say that I'm not doing Reiki on everyone.
Sure. Awesome. Koala Mama says, so digestive issues can be resolved with massage?
It can be helped.
Hmm.
It can certainly be helped, yes. Whether or not your colon has been backed up, I forget the term. The what's the last sphincter down there?
The
But yeah,
the
yeah. Go ahead.
sigmoid col or
That's
I guess that's
whatever
not a
you want to
sphincter.
name it. Yeah, yeah. We're talking about the forest. Let's stop talking about specific tree. But
There you go.
yeah, 100%. If your body is in fight or flight all the time, then yes, you're going to have digestion issues. You're going to have absorption issues. If you're harboring anger in your liver and resentment, then you're not going to absorb all of those vitamins and nutrients. Yes. As soon as, well, they told us in massage school, if you start hearing like, gurgling sounds in their stomach, that's you're doing a good job
Hmm.
because that is the body going into rest and digest. You're hitting that parasympathetic response. I'm guilty of it too. I need to eat a lot of times on the go. So even though I'm on the go, I'm, not putting myself into rest and digest, and therefore I'm super skinny and I'm not getting all of these good, wonderful nutrients. So yeah, slowing down and helping your body absorb.
Gotcha. I don't know. Is it the ileocecal valve? Is
Thank you.
that the one? Okay, cool.
Thank you.
There it is. Um, all right, let's see here. Any other questions, you guys, that you have? Um, I'll try to think of one quick here until anybody else wants to throw one in. Let's see. So, um, hmm, let's see. What would you say is the most challenging art of your work? Like, what is it? Is there anything that's a challenge of what you do?
Uh, there's different challenges every single day. Uh, the daily challenge is getting me right to be the best functioning practitioner, pure and simple. Am I carrying, and sometimes I don't do the best job of this, of me carrying, my stress, my tension, my problems into my treatment room, because essentially I am a human being. That's something that is not a daily struggle, but I found that to be, a struggle in the past. But I truly love every 90-minute session with every human. It's something that I can put my, kind of avoid all my problems and say, okay, we're just focusing on this person. I also find a challenge that people don't necessarily want to get better.
Yeah.
So you'll come in for my left hip is just, oh, it's so bad. And you've seen them 8, 9, 10 times. And we've done all the moves that we can. We've done this modality, we've done that modality. But what they're really holding on to is they're still letting their mother run their life. And they're over an adult, they now have grandchildren, and yet their mother is still running their life. Or yeah, when the answer is obvious to the outsider, but it's not obvious to the person who's actually doing it. That's a big
Mm,
point of frustration. And it's not to say that I'm, by any means talking with these people and, trying to be their talk therapist for it. I just read the body and I make suggestions off that. I'll never say definitively to the person, yes, this is something to do with your mother. Yes, this is your partner and it's stuck right here. I'll guide, say, okay, right side, masculine energy, left side, feminine energy. It's going up towards the top, so it's probably something more recent. How do you feel when I mention this? How do you feel when I mention that? So it, yeah, the most challenging part is dealing with humans. And
yeah,
I mean, I'm a human too. So sometimes I knock it out of the park, and other times I could do a lot better. And
gotcha.
there's a couple of times where I wish I had it. Yeah, a little bit better.
Okay, yeah, that all makes sense. Quite a few questions just poured in, but I just wanted to. You mentioned a little bit earlier that the Reiki. You're kind of doing Reiki on everybody regardless. Is it important for people to kind of gauge the energy of the actual practitioner that they're going to go see before they see them? Because you can maybe take on client issues. Can clients
Yeah,
take on the practitioner's issues as well? Do you think?
absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely. And ugh, that's just their egos. And I mean, I know a lot of, pretty decent practitioners, but their ego does get in the way of that. I'm not going to tell you that it's impossible or no, it's harder or anything like that. Yeah, it's porous, baby. I mean, we're getting energy from you, you're getting energy from us. It's always a thing. Even when you're on the phone with customer service, you're getting their energy, they're getting your energy.
sure,
And as much as I, for over 10 years, I was like, no, that's absolutely not real. That's not a thing. Well, lo and behold, it actually was the whole time. It was just me who was blocking it.
gotcha. Makes sense. All right, let's see. Koala Mama said, I think she's referring to the billionaire. If she had a lot of belongings, she'd be stressed out for having to care for all of those. Maybe that's part of it too.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah. Allian Raw says, very interesting about the pain in areas of the body relating to problems with relationships, guilt, etc. Are there any more that you can share with us? Um, are these similar to like what Louise Hay teaches?
I'm not familiar with Louise Haight, so I can't tell you yes or no between what she is teaching or not teaching. Um, the people that have taught me, because again, I was very resistant to all of this, they said that it's over the course of, tens of thousands of years of trial and error. And I'm like, okay, so I just should take your word for it. But it absolutely is, it absolutely is the case. One or two might have, some issues here and there, but it's pretty accurate that if it's on your left side, it has something to do with your feminine energy. So we're talking submission, we're talking nurturing. uh hmm. Are you stopping to smell the roses?
Mm,
Are you fully embracing the love that you're getting from others? Are you accepting that? Are you holding space well? And the yang energy, I'm much more familiar with the yang energy side because I do have a Y chromosome and it's our natural state. The creation and destruction is the best way that I can put it. It's order. Do you need to have everything ordered? If, do you need to be on time for everything? If that is an issue, that's going to manifest somewhere on your right side. Well, whether it be your shoulder, I don't want to say it's usually, but that's where I found typically that in your right shoulder, that's where a lot of work stuff is. Whereas your left shoulder can be more of a relationship stuff. Like, okay, my my significant other is in this club and we're going to go watch this club perform. Oh, great. And yeah, every human being is so different. And we're different on different days.
Yeah.
So one day you might, be great with that partner. Like, yeah, we went out and we saw his improv comedy show. It was great. And then other times you're just like, oh my God, we had to go witness this improv comedy show and it was terrible.
Yeah.
By the way, I love improv. Don't think I don't love improv.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's a great point. That we are all different people. We're a new person every single day. So how we approach each situation is going to depend on kind of who we are that day. So
For sure.
great point. Um, Livy777 says, "Can you elaborate more on what you said earlier? How you don't book certain clients anymore because you need more time to recover after."
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Some people I will not book anymore. Just flat out. Just, yep, I will be busy for them. And then others, I will always make time for because they fill up my cup as well. So that is one of the very intentional reasons why I do not have online booking and I do not have a website or anything else like that. Like we kept mentioning hack, we kept mentioning all the shortcuts and the magic bullets. People are wanting that magic bullet. And it's just not reality, man. You ain't gonna get anywhere like that. You
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna have everything presented to you and then just, oh yeah, I've got all the things. Like if Frodo and Lord of the Rings got the eagles to take them all the way to Mordor, that's not what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So that is with intention. I'm not here to I'm not here to say that this is going to be an easy process. I'm here with a couple of barriers to entry because I can't save everyone. I can't save anyone. Y'all have to save yourselves.
Yeah.
I can push on you in very fun ways. We can get you more relaxed. We can shut your mind off. We can let you, go into the gray zone and just let you get a download. But I cannot fix you. As much as I've tried, I cannot fix you. I can bring you to Mordor, but you ultimately have to take that ring into Mount Doom. Sorry for being a nerd, but that sounded like a great example.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, some people I absolutely refuse to work on. My saying is, I will work on anybody once. No matter who you are, if you're coming to see me, a referral, whatever it is, I will work on you once. I'll work on you twice, depending on how much you tipped me. But then by the third time, it's like, okay, there's some things that are more important than money.
Yeah. Understandable. Um, all right. Koala Mama says, "It's true you have to change to heal. It took me a long time to experience how I was in the way how I was in the way of my healing." Yeah,
Oh, I love that.
yeah,
How I was in the way.
right. Yeah, it's a great thing to end the show on, and for us all to kind of look at kind of how we are, and if it is in the way of our healing and our goals and all that. So like every day is we're a new person. We can decide we're gonna change and we're gonna take a new path or a new approach to figure out what we need to figure out. So, uh, G, thank you so much for the opportunity to glean some wisdom and knowledge from all your experience. And it's a pleasure to get my audience to know who you are, and hopefully everybody goes out and follows you and books a session and has a positive experience with you being in their lives now.
Right. I'm here to help. And thank you for what you're doing as well.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Well, everybody, thank you for all the questions and for being here. It's always a pleasure to spend Sunday mornings with you. If you have any additional questions, reach out to Greg on Instagram, or you can leave a comment down below and I'll share it with him. And yeah, thank you so much. And until next time, guys, always follow your raw intuition.